Well, good morning and welcome back, YouTubers. I started a video when we were in Georgia, and I never really finished it there. But I think it's kind of an important one for this time in the world, with a lot of people trying to find a place to park and stay with friends or whatever they need to do during these difficult times. High fuel costs, high everything costs. Definitely slowing down the RV world a little bit. I started a video and I didn't get to do the basics on it, and I'm going to do that right now. But let me turn this thing around so you can see what I'm talking about. As you can probably see, we're back home in Arkansas. I kind of want to do a little bit of a disclaimer on this in the beginning, because this is not 100%. This is probably about 70%. So here's what it is. If you look at this little rig right here, that's a 50 amp service on there. And then you come over here and there's a 30 amp service. And then there's a 15 or 20 amp service. So we were at my daughter's house, my youngest daughter's house, and they don't have hookups for RVs. They had a water line that we could use, and we had to just be very conservative with the water usage and everything else. But it was so darn hot, we needed to have air conditioning. So what this does here is this will take a 30 amp supply and a 15 amp supply, and it allowed us to run both of our airs. And then what happened is I use one of these, okay? This converts this 30 into a regular plug, and he actually had two 25 amp circuits. My new son-in-law that we got to get to know, who was wonderful. He had two 25 amp services that we were able to plug into. In the beginning, it was like we had the airs on and we had the refrigerator running, and we had Darla would like turn on the induction cooktop. Well, that would pop the fuse. And then we found that hair drying in that same circuit would pop the fuse. So we just got used to, when we're plugged into this, one thing on at a time. Well, you could run the AC and you could run the induction cooktop, or you could run just the hair dryer, or you could just the toaster, that type of thing. But you couldn't run multiple items. But the main thing is we were able to run our airs, both of them, at the same time, nonstop. So if you're staying at someone's house and they don't have a 50 amp or a 30 amp service, this will get you by. And I was using a 100-foot cord, which I don't know whether Darla's going to put this in the front of the video or in the back of the video, but you'll see that that's what we were running on. And it worked out fine. It's a heavy-duty cord. It doesn't look like it. I'm going to tell you it doesn't look like it, but it's designed to carry 30 amps. Now I'll show you what I filmed in Georgia. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another exciting adventure with economic refugees, RV. Today's a little different. I kind of wanted to show you something here. Normally I don't try to show stuff like wiring and stuff like that, but I'm going to show you something. The reason why I'm doing it this way is that we're visiting family right now, and my son and my one daughter have a 50 amp service, which works great, especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, you can get away with just almost nothing because you're not using air conditioning and stuff. But with the situation that we're in right now, it's in the 90s everywhere, and we're in Georgia, so it's been pretty hot and humid. So let me show you what I've done here. Here's one cord here, plugged into the backyard. And as you can see, a little tiny bit warm, but not too bad. And this actually is a 30 amp cord. It doesn't look like it, and it's a long cord, but it is a 30 amp cord. Okay, and let me show you this other side over here. And I'm having to run my extension cord. I've got this cool little plug here. And I purchased this quite a while ago. And here's the other end of that cord right there. It's not hot. And this is going into a plug here. The one in the back is a 30 amp, and this one here is a 30 amp right here. But they are 3-prong 110 or 120 plugs. And this thing actually gives you a 50 amp service. I've been checking it, making sure that it doesn't get hot, because I'm running. I'll take you in and show you. See the nice flowers? Had a cave-in the road out here today. The lady next door that lives next door, the water line to her house was leaking. I thought maybe it was a motorhome, but it wasn't. A bunch of big trucks have been running down the road, and with that water leak, they found it. Much cooler in here, in the 70s. And here's one air running. You can hear it running. And here's the back air running. So one thing a disclaimer I want to give to you, or advice to you. When you're hooked up like this, you're not going to want to run a hair dryer, the air conditioner, refrigerator on electric, the hot water heater on electric, plug in the coffee, and then turn on the microwave. So you're going to want to kind of limit it to like 2 or 3 items at the most. The air conditioner, and I have the refrigerator running on electric. Both ACs are running. In the morning I run the coffee. The ACs kick on and off at night, and sometimes during the day they do because we're around trees. Anyway, what it does is it enables you to survive in this heat. Without air conditioning, it's just freaking miserable. There's KG boy. He hasn't been on TV in a while. Hi, KG. Hi, buddy. There, now you can see him. It would be next to impossible to survive in this thing out here without the AC, so I'd have to run my generator. That's a cool little deal. You usually get that. I got that at Brett's RV and Marine in Montana. They had all kinds of stuff like that. I bought all kinds of different plugs, not knowing I would ever need them, but just thinking, well, they look like they would be pretty cool. And they would really help with keeping it cool and everything working. So anyway, it does. Both airs are running, and they've been running for like 4 days now, nonstop. And we did learn, this house was built back in the 40s that my daughter lives in. And it's got screw-in fuses like little tiny light bulbs. And we blew 2 fuses because they're 25 amp and they just screw in. And the way to overcome that was not running the toaster and the hair dryer and the microwave and the air conditioning and the refrigerator and everything all at one time. So as long as you just limit what you use, it works really good. And I got no complaints. Let's see what it says it is in here right now. 74 degrees in the motorhome. I have it set at 72, so that's why it's constant running. But here in a little while, they'll kick off because it's afternoon. But anyway, I hope you like that. Hope you like seeing Cage. Thanks for watching. Please, if you like this video and you want to, help us to continue doing this, please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.